Welcome, my dear learners, to today's interesting episode. Remember, we are still on number basis. In this session, we are going to learn how to convert from base 10 to other bases. If you are new on this web channel, kindly like, share, and most importantly, click on the bell on the screen to subscribe to this web channel for interesting updates. Now, in converting from base 10 to other bases, we are going to use a method called successive division or repeated division. Now, with the repeated division or the successive division method, we are going to divide the decimal number until nothing is left or until the last number is less than the divisor or the base. So in doing that too, we are going to draw three columns. So we have the first column, the second column, and then the third column. Now the first column is going to represent the base that we are converting to, so the base. And the base is going to be our divisor. And then the second column, which is the column 2, is going to be the decimal number. And that decimal number is going to be the dividend. And then the last column is going to be the remainder. So these are the columns that we are going to use in converting from base 10 to other bases. So without wasting time, let's take our first example and then see how it goes. So we have our first example. We have to convert 19 base 10 to base 2. 19 base 10 to base 2. So as I said earlier on, to do that, we are going to use three columns. Okay. So let's draw our three columns. So the first column is going to represent the base that we want to convert to. So we are going to write here 2. And then the second column is representing the decimal number, which is the 19 base 10. So we have 19. And then the last column represents the remainder. Call it the remainder. Good. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to do a successive division. We are going to use the 2, which is the base, to divide the decimal number. So the 2 becomes our divisor, the 19 becomes our dividend. Is that clear? So let's move on. Now, how many times will 2 divide 19? It will go into 19 9 times. So we write the 19 here, which is the quotient. We write it here. 2 times 19 will give us what? 18. Then we subtract that 18 from 19. It is going to give us a remainder of 1. So we write the remainder here. Then we bring our 2 also down here. How many times will 2 divide 9? 9. Or how many times will 2 go into 9? 4 times. So we write our 4 here. 2 times 4 will give us 8. 8 minus 9, a remainder of 1. So we write the remainder here. Then we continue with our division because the number here is not less than the divisor. So how many times will 2 divide 4? 2 times. So we write our 2 here. 2 times 2 will give us 4, remainder 0. Then we add our 2 here. How many times will 2 go into 2? 1. Remainder 0. So we write our remainder here. Now when you realize that the last number, which is the second column, is less than the number in the first column, then we end our division. Or when the divided is less than the divisor, we end our division. And then we are going to add the last number in the second column to the remainder. So we are going to add it here. Once we are done with this, the last thing that we are going to do is our reading. And the reading is done from bottom to up. So this is how the reading is done. So we can say that 19 base 10 is equal to, now we start reading from here, 10011. 10011 in base 2. So we can say that 19 base 10 is equal to 10011 base 2. Very, very easy. Let's take the next example. It is your example. You pause the video, you try your hands on it. So we have example 2. So this is your example. Convert 53 to base 4. Try your hands on it. So what answer did you get? Let's work it together to see if you are really on the right path. So we have to convert 53. Now since there's no base attached to this very number, we assume that 53 is in base 10. Okay, so we are going to draw 3 columns. We have the first column, second, and then the third column. So the first column is going to take the base, which will serve as our divisor. The second column is going to take the decimal numeral, which will serve as our dividend. And then the last column will serve as our remainder. Good. Now, what is next is the successive division or the repeated division. So we are going to look at how many times will 4 go into 53. 13 times. So we write our 13 down here. Then after that, 4 times 13 will give you 52, I guess. And then 52 minus 53 will give us a remainder of 1. So we write our remainder here. Now we continue with our division. How many times will 4 divide 13? 3. We write our 3 here. 4 times 3 will give us 12. 12 minus 13 will give us a remainder of 1. So we write our remainder here. Now realize that the number in the second column, which is the dividend side, is less than the number in the first column, which is the divisor. So we end our division. And then after that, we are going to add the last number in the second column to the remainder. So we add this one to the remainder. Then the last step says that we should start reading from the top, from the down to the top, sorry. So we are going to read from down or bottom to top. So we can say that 53 base 10 is equal to 311 base 4. Isn't it very easy? Very, very easy. I guess you add this very answer. Let's take our next example. So this is your example. Pause the video, you try your hands on it. Convert 5 base 10 to base 2. That's what we are supposed to do. Pause the video, you try your hands on it. So what did you get? What answer did you get? Let's solve it together. So we have to convert 5 base 10 to base 2. So we are going to draw 3 columns. So the first column is going to take the base. The second column is going to take the decimal numeral. And the last column is going to take the remainder. So what is left is to do our repeated division. So how many times will 2 go into 5, or how many times will 2 divide 5? We have 2. 2 times 2 will give us 4, a remainder of 1. We continue with our division. How many times will 2 divide 2? 1. Remainder 0. Now realize that the last number is less than the number in the first row. So we end our division, and then we add the last number in the second row to the remainder. Then after that, we start reading from the bottom to up. So we can say that 5 base 10 is equal to 101 base 2. 101 base 2. Very, very easy. I guess you were able to get this very answer. Now let's make more progress. So the next thing we are looking at, conversion between non-decimal bases. Conversion between non-decimal bases. So we are going to look at example, say we want to convert from base 4 to base 5. So when you have, let's say, 1011 base 2, we want to convert it to base, let's say, base 4. Or assuming you have 2332 base 5, and then you want to convert it to base 6. This is what we call conversion between non-decimal bases. Good. So in doing so, we are first going to convert the number to base 10. Then after that, the result that we get, we convert it to the base that we want to convert to. So if it is 1011 base 2, we want to convert it to base 4. We are first going to convert this one to base 10. And then after that, we convert it to base 4. I guess you are following the pattern. So if it is 2332 base 5 that we want to convert it to, let's say, base 6, we are first going to convert this number to base 10. And then you convert it from base 10 to base 6. Here's how we are going to do it. So let's take an example and then see how it goes. So we have our first example. We have to change 432 base 5 to base 3. We realize that none of these are decimal bases. Each of them are different bases altogether. And then we want to convert them from this base 5 to base 3. So this is how we are going to do it. So it says that we first have to convert this base 5 numeral to base 10 before we convert it to base 3. So let's convert this to base 10. So we have 4, we have the solution. 4, 3, 2 base 5. We are converting it to base 10. So we have 4, 3, and then 2. Now what we are going to do is that we are going to multiply each of these numbers by the base given. So the base is what? 5. So multiply here by 5. We sum. Multiply here by 5. We sum. multiply here by 5. Now what we are going to do next is we are going to start counting from the extreme right to the left. And the counting is going to start from where? 0. Good. So we are going to start counting from 0, 1, and then 2. So what is left is just simplification. So we have 4 times 5 raised to the power 2 will give us 25 plus 3 times 5 power 1 will give us 5 plus 2 times 5 power 0 will give us 1. Any number raised to the power 0 is 1. So we have 4 times 25 will give us 100. 3 times 5, 15. We have 2. So the whole of this will give us 117, and then base what? Base 10, because we are converting it from base 5 to base 10. So we can say that 432 base 5 is equal to 117 base 10. Then the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to convert this base 10 to base 3. So let's do that. So in converting from base 10 to base 3, we need how many columns? We need 3 columns. Now the first column is going to take what? The base that we want to convert to. So we have base 3. The second column is going to take the decimal numeral, which is 117. And then the last column is going to take the remainder. Sorry. So the next thing that we are going to do is that we are going to use these 3 to divide 117 successively until the last number is less than 3. So how many times will 3 divide 117? 39 times. So we have 39, and then 3 times 39 will give you 117. So the remainder is 0. We continue with our division. How many times will 3 go into 39? I think 13 times. 3, 3, 9, 3, 1, 3. So 13 times. So we have 13 here. Remainder 0. We continue with our division. How many times will 3 divide 13? 4. So we have 4 times. 3 times 4 will give us 12. Remainder of what? 1. We continue with our division 2. How many times will 3 divide 4? Or 3 go into 4? We have 1. A remainder of 1. Now realize that the last number in the second column is less than the number in the first column. So we end our division, and then we are going to add this number to the remainder column. So the last step says that we should start reading the answer from the bottom towards up. So we can say that 117 base 10 is equal to, now we are start reading from the bottom. So we have 11100. 11100 base what? Base 3. But we are converting from base 5, 432 base 5 to base 3. So therefore we can conclude and say that 432 base 5 is equal to 11100 base 3. So we have converted 432 base 5 to base 3. Very, very easy. You take the next example. It is your example. So this is your example. We are to express 231 base 4 to a number in bases. So what we are going to do is first convert this number to base 10, and then the result that you get, you convert it to base 6. Try your hands on it. So I guess you were able to convert it. What did you get? Let's solve it together. Write your answer down. We are solving it together. So we are first going to convert this number, which is in base 4, to base 10. So we have 231 base 4. We are converting it to base 10 before. So we have 2, 3, and then 1. Then the next step, we are going to multiply each of these numbers by the base given, which is base 4. So we multiply here by 4. We sum them. Multiply here by 4. We sum them. Multiply here by 4. Then after that, we start reading from the extreme right to the left. And the counting starts from where? 0. So we start counting from the extreme right, which is 0, 1, and then 2. So the rest is simplification. So we are going to get 2 times 4 raised to the power 2 will give us 16 plus 4 power 1 will give us 4 plus 1 times any number raised to the power 0 is 1. So we have 2 times 16 will give you 32. 3 times 4 will give you 12. 1 times 1 will give you 1. So we have the whole of this is going to give you 45. 45 in base what? Base 10. So we have 231 base 4 is equal to 45 base 10. And then we are going to convert this 45 base 10 to base 6. That is the required base we have to convert to base 6. So we are going to convert 45 base 10 to base 6. So we need how many columns? We need 3 columns. So the first column is going to take the base we are to convert to. The second column is going to take the decimal number, which is 45. And then the last column is going to take what? Good, the remainder, sorry. Now what we are going to do is our repeated division. So how many times will 6 divide 45? 7. So we have our 7 here. 6 times 7 will give us 42. 42 minus 45 will give us a remainder of 3. We continue with our division. How many times will 6 divide 7? I think 1. And then 6 times 1 will give us 6 minus 7, a remainder of 1. Now realize that this number is less than the divisor, so we end our division. So we are going to add this number to the remainder column. And then we start reading from bottom to top, sorry. So we can say that this number 231, we have 231, which is in base 4, is equal to 113 base what? Base 6. I guess we're able to get 113 base 6. Very, very easy. I'm going to give you a tutorial set question. Pause the video, you write them down, and then you try your hands on it. So these are your tutorial set questions. Pause the video, you write them down, and then you try your hands on it. Kindly like, share, and most importantly, subscribe to this very channel for more updates. This brings us to the end of today's lesson. See you next week. Bye bye.